Oh, maybe we should get in the van.
In this world, we don't get to control much. The past, male pattern baldness.
Leggies.
Got one right now. The urge to puff that bubble wrap. But there is one thing we do get to choose every single day. What we eat. Welcome to the Sonic Department of Research and Deliciousment. We have everything you want, didn't know you wanted, and some things you didn't know were possible. Because we believe if you're not having fun, you're not living free. So come on, let's live a little.
Hey, good morning, America. Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Money! Are you ready? They are ready. Covering the biggest events in the country right now.
There's a lot going on here this morning.
It's always a good time.
That's what the show's about.
That's good.
Really good.
Very good. Coming in hot. Jimmy coming in hot.
It's far from elementary.
Good morning, America.
I'm not going to try to strut like Michael or anything.
I have known George a long, long time.
Have you ever gotten him to dance?
Look at that face.
You don't just see it, you feel it.
I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm in too.
I'll be here.
I am here and so happy.
I'm in.
I'm in too.
I'm in.
That tells you something when Snoop Dogg's in. Michael, George, where?
Ginger.
Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, an isle of fire-breathing excitement, a shadowy world of monsters and mystery, new wonders in the wizarding world, and a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.
Well, hello to you, and you. Welcome in to another edition of Braylon's Virtual Tour Live. Glad to have all of you here. Y'all, I thought we were done when I talked about Shannon Sharpe upon yesterday with our last tour, but little did I know that that the documents would be out. So I'm going to show you how I got to those documents, and then we are going to get into the 13-page lawsuit. We are reading every single page live, okay? So get ready for that. Hey, Jacqueline Hanapesh, good to see you. Hopefully all is well with you, my friend. And with that being said, Hire is waiting, Bo is available, but either way, we are live on tour. Let me take down this iconic intro here. Yes, indeed, it is an iconic intro. You see that virtual tour background? Yes, you do. You hear that virtual tour music? Yes, you do. And then there is, oh, wait a minute. Now, hang on. There I am. Good to see all of you. Hopefully you have had a wonderful, what is today? Wednesday? It's Wednesday. Hey, Nikki Deuce and Narcissism. Glad to have you here. So, let me show you where I got this from, okay? Of course, I got it from Deadline.com, but let me show you the article. Yes, I did, my friend. Thank you so much. I had to work, unfortunately, but I did take time out to thank God that he did that he rose up 3 days later. So I do appreciate that. I didn't get the chance to spend time with my family because, y'all, it was a day at work. It really was. But like I said, with my family, my mom is the reason why I have God. She's the spiritual and the why. My dad's the logical and the how. You combine those two things. Then you had some Braylon magic, and you have my sister who is observant and witty. There you go with all of us. So praise God for them, that God made them, and they make me who I am. So I love you very much. So thank you, Jacko, for that very kind of thought there. All right. So Deadline.com, Shannon Sharpe accused of rape in civil suit. NFL Hall of Fame response via lawyer statement. So here it is here. So this is where I got the civil suit right here. So this article right here. So I'm going to drop the link to where I got this 13-page document. Now, all I ask, okay, and this ain't really asking for much. All I ask is if that you do talk about the case, you just say where you got from and who you got from. So if you go on, just say, hey, this article right here from Deadline.com, Braylon found it, and that's where I got the pages from. That's literally all I ask. Now, do you have to do it? No, you don't, because y'all are grown-ass people. And grown-ass people are going to do what they want to do. But I do believe that when someone does the work, we should always honor the person who did the work. Amen? Amen. So just wanted to get that out of the way. Now, let's get to these 13, well, it said 13 page in the article, but 14 pages really. So this page and the last page is just the signatures, okay? But here we go. So as you can see here, Jane Doe plaintiff, Shannon Sharpe defendant. Okay. So here we go. Plaintiff Jane Doe complains of defendant Shannon Sharpe for cause of action. Will respectfully show this honorable court in the following. Introduction. A woman can say yes to consensual sexual relations with a man 99 times, but when she says no even once, that no means no. Defendant Shannon Sharpe, a man who is accustomed to getting what he wants, completely fails to understand this basic concept. After many months of manipulating and controlling plaintiff, a woman who was more than 30 years younger than he and repeatedly threatening to brutally choke and violently slap her, Sharpe refused to accept the answer of no and raped plaintiff, despite her sobbing and repeated screams of no. Defendant Shannon Sharpe is a 56-year-old former NFL star. He claims to be one of the most successful media personalities in the century. Well, I mean, when you're talking about the sports world, right? He was on NFL Day on CBS. Known then. Skip Bayless, who is in his own lawsuit along with Joy Taylor, right? Took a chance on Shannon Sharpe, and he became Unc. And him and Skip really made history by whooping First Take's ass. Then after that, to split up, because the moment that made that happen was that Tom Brady is a better, ball player than you. Y'all know Skip Bayless loves Tom Brady, like they're in a relationship. That's neither here nor there. But that moment made sorry, my fingernails bother me. Anyway, that moment made Shannon Sharpe leave Fox Sports 1. Now, in that separation agreement, he got to keep Club Shay Shay. And so to build out his own platform from where he was to where he is now, along with Nightcap, to potentially get $100 million deal. And he sat down for a little bit of everybody. I mean, if you really think about it, and to all the old school broadcasters, don't get mad at me for what I'm about to say, but he's basically, 2020's Barbara Walters. And I don't mean the Barbara Walters in the fact of what is a value that you live. He's not that type of interviewer. but his interviews do carry weight in the culture. Just like for some people, Vlad TV carries weight, like how some people think the Breakfast Club carries weight, like how some people used to think that No Jumper carried weight, or any of these platforms carry weight. So I would say that Shannon Sharpe definitely has done the work to become one of the biggest media personalities, to the point where Stephen A. Smith needed Shannon Sharpe, because we all know his star is fleeting every damn day. Rolling on. Plaintiff is a young woman in her early 20s. In 2023, Plaintiff was working out at a gym in Los Angeles, California, when Sharpe approached her for the first time. Previously, Doe had known Sharpe watching her during her workouts. At this time, Doe was just 19 years old. At the time, she did not know who he was, only that he was another older man ogling her at the gym. Doe could tell Sharpe was much older than her. She found him physically intimidating. Eventually, he introduced himself. At his determined insistence, she gave him her number. Over the next couple of weeks, Sharpe incessantly pursued the plaintiff. He constantly approached her at the gym and attempted to contact her frequently with phone calls and text messages, asking to be up, unwilling to take no for an answer. Eventually, plaintiff gave in and agreed to meet with Sharpe outside the gym. However, before doing so, Sharpe demanded that Doe sign a non-disclosure agreement, or an NDA. So for those of you who don't know, right? Hey, Rochelle, welcome in. Glad to have you here. So for those of you who don't know, a non-disclosure agreement is pretty much agreeing that you won't say shit, just to make it plain. For example, if you were on Survivor, now I don't know if they still do this or not, but you had to sign an NDA if you released anything. I mean anything. A photo, a video, you gave an interview where you gave a pivotal plot point of the season away, you got charged a $50,000 fine. Now, I don't know if Survivor still does that. I don't know if other reality shows have something that ominous of a fine system. I do know that Colton Underwood had to pay ABC and Warner Brothers Television because he broke his NDA. Now, usually NDAs in the world of television, they usually last around a year to 2 years, right? Because they want the show to air, they want the ratings, the ad revenue, blase, 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 blase. So that would be like, for example, now this has not happened, okay? So I don't want nobody to freak out. Just speaking things into existence. That would be like if Braylon's Virtual Tour Live got to be on, or was coming to, now that has not happened, okay? But if that deal was happening, I could not say anything. Otherwise, there are consequences for me, okay? So just giving an example. All right, let's roll on. We're reading all the pages here. Welcome in. Glad to have you all here. If you're wondering what's going on, this is the 13-page document of the lawsuit. So I found it through this link right here, and then you click the 13 pages, and it leads you to this. I will drop that 13-page document here. And like I said, all I ask, and y'all don't have to do it because y'all grown-ass people are going to do what you want to do. But all I ask, SHARP lawsuit via deadline. So if you're looking for the files, there they are right there. And listen, that's all I ask. Just mention deadline.com, mention Braylon Lee. You don't have to do it, but I do believe when someone has done the work, we should recognize the work that they did. Because whether you are deadline.com or you're Braylon Lee, it's hard out here. Because the hardest work is the work that nobody ever sees behind the scenes. All right, let's get back to our 13-page document here. Eventually, oh yes, right here. Something plaintiff found a bit concerning. She wondered why Sharpe was so insistent on her signing an NDA. She refused. Despite his repeated efforts to get her to sign, she refused time and again eventually dropped the issue and invited her to his house. What followed was the beginning of a rocky consensual relationship that lasted nearly 2 years. The relationship was very unequal. Sharpe is more than 30 years older, is considerably wealthier, is physically larger, and exponentially stronger. Sharpe is famous and has power. Yeah, basically he does. I mean, his existence is his social capital, bank account. Like, that would be like if Shannon Sharpe said, hey, y'all, listen, it's your Uncle Shannon Sharpe. Listen, y'all need to go watch Braylon's virtual tour. It's amazing. I watch it all the time. The diversity that he has, his takes are on point, and he gives no fucks about what needs to be said. So y'all go watch him. Now, if Shannon Sharpe said that, I could literally get to maybe 250,000 subscribers overnight because of what he said. That's how big he is. And I was talking with my good friends, fellow collaborators in the Arts Collab weeknights at 10/9 Central Clubhouse. And I said last night to Paul Briggs that this is a very cultural moment. He was like, what do you mean by that? I'm like, well, you got to think about the social sector of this and all the Me Too cases and how many women have come out and talked about their experiences in corporate America. Also, too, men have also went through this experience in corporate America. Then you got to think about the sports fans, right? Because do you not know who was on morning TV? Not Shannon Sharpe, but Nate Burleson from CBS Mornings and Michael Strahan from Good Morning America. You don't think they're not talking about this on GMA, on Good Morning America and CBS Mornings? Absolutely they are. And although the Today Show doesn't have a NFL legend, guess what? All they got to do is bring in somebody from NBC Sports to get their take. It's getting to the point where Shannon Sharpe has crossed over, right? And the only other person I can think that has had that type of magnanimous energy was O.J. Simpson. Y'all know he was an amazing football player. I wasn't allowed to see it, but watching from the O.J. Made in America documentary, from the 30 for 30 documentary from ESPN, he was an amazing ball player. And he transitioned over to, I think it was NBC for sports commentating. And he was the Hertz guy, of go, OJ, go. And, wait a minute. Hang on, y'all. Okay, there we go. I'm back. Hi, I froze for a second. I'm back. I'm glad to have you here. But no, was the Hertz guy of for Go OJ Go, and in the airports because they filmed the commercial that way. In the words of Jay-Z, who repeated the words of OJ, "I'm not black, I'm OJ." And of course, we all know what happened with OJ Simpson, Nicole Brown Simpson, and everything else. But also, too, O.J. Simpson was taking Chevrolet deals and this, that, and the third. So I only bring up O.J. Simpson of the fact that there's only a few people in the sports world that have crossed over, and Shannon Sharpe is one of those people. Okay, let's roll on. He often manipulated. Hang on. Okay, it has power, yes. Plaintiff and Sharpe saw each other on his terms and on his schedule, as often as 4 times a week. 4 times a week? I mean, you're on 2 days a week on First Take from 10 a.m. to noon, 12 p.m. on ESPN. Then Club Shay Shay, I mean, you do 2 interviews in a day? And sometimes that's like 3 to 4 hours of taping. And then you have Nightcap, I think, on a weekly basis. But you were able to see her 3 to 4 times a week. I'm just kind of wondering, Shannon, like, because you said that for First Take, you have rarely went into the actual factual studio at Pier 17, New York City, but you usually go into a satellite studio. Was this woman ever with you for a Club Shay Shay interview at all? Did the car pull up with her after nightcap and you just got in the car with her? Like, dude, to be able to see her 4 times a week and you are on ESPN and YouTube and other social media platforms, and you got the La Portier, your cognac, it's about to say cognac wine. Don't at me, okay? You alcoholics out there, and I don't mean alcoholics in terms of how alcoholic problem I mean. Consumers of adult beverages. There you go. Is that better? But seriously, though, all jokes aside, how the hell did you see her 4 times a week and you have I do 7 shows a week. 8 shows a week if you count the Never Ever Meant to Ready Love. 9 shows a week if you count 3 with the T, which I used to do. I still pray that we get to be able to do that show again. But I would do about 7 to 9 shows in 1 week. Sir. Okay, let's keep going. Over time, plaintiff began to see Sharpe's true nature. She found him to be dishonest about his whereabouts. He would lie about seeing other women while insisting to her that she and he was exclusive. He often manipulated her, at times being sweet and loving to get what he wanted, at other times being angry and aggressive to achieve his goals. She discovered over time that Sharpe was extremely emotional and possessed an uncontrolled temper. He displayed the characters of being a true narcissist. He wielded his power, his influence, and his liberty to control plaintiff and get exactly what he wanted whenever he wanted it, all while jealously guarding what he considered his for himself. By October 2024, Sharpe's behavior had grown progressively worse beyond anything plaintiff had experienced with him before. At this point, he insisted upon recording their sexual activity, sometimes without her knowledge. Sharpe was also sharing the videos with others without permission or knowledge. Hey, Shannon. Hey, Shannon. Hey, Shannon. Question, come here. I got it in the big screen. Do you know that on May 5th, there's a case for a guy who did the same fucking thing named P. Diddy? Didn't know if you knew that. Okay. All right. Thought you should know that. Just. So I think Diddy also recorded videos. Is trying to get them out of discovery and not submitted into evidence. Let's keep going. And Jacqueline Hedepesh says here he was about to sign a $100 million deal. She knew that. I would say yes and no, Jacqueline Hedepesh. I think it was a possibility. Like I said to you about those NDAs, it depends on the terms of it. Of course, if I got $100 million, deal, I would tell, of course, my mom, my dad, my sister, brothers. I would, of course, tell Nikki News or Narcissism, Talk With Your Girl, Sassy, some of the people that have been with me. But of course, you don't want to rock the boat. And you want to work the middle and you want to stroke it just right until you get to, the mainland, right? So you don't want to rock the boat and tip the boat over either. So it's possible that she could have known that. It's possible. But also, too, it depends on the NDA that was signed. But very, very astute point for sure. Okay, let's see here. Where was I? By the way, I'm going to be doing this a lot, y'all. So if this is your first time here, welcome. Nikki News knows this about me. Jacqueline knows this about me. I think Rochelle, this is your first time here. But yes, I'm gonna be going in and out. I'm still reading all the pages, but I'm adding additional commentary because I come from the world of radio, where I found my voice. Television taught me how to control the marketplace, somehow diversify it. So I am the media nerd of social media. So you are going to get a lot of media commentary in addition to social commentary here. Okay. Let's see here. Sharpe will repeatedly tell Doe that he wanted to do things to her that would make No other man want her. By this point, Sharpe was no longer able to credibly maintain that the relationship was exclusive. He had, at this point, accidentally or purposely to advance his career, went online, went live on Instagram. Why do I say went online? I mean, Instagram is online, so I guess, but to be correct for the grammar police in the back, went live on Instagram while having relations with another woman. As y'all all know, that's the infamous Michelle clip. And we all laughed at that this time the third, but to that point of he would insist upon recording their sexual activity, sometimes without her knowledge. Did that woman know that they were live on Instagram? Which I don't think. How would you know if you're live on Instagram while doing that? Like, I just. Sharpe flew into his fits of anger when plaintiff noticed his infidelity to their relationship, or even called him out about his extraneous activities. Just like Grace Jabari called out Jonathan Majors when Cleopatra, who was allegedly Megan Good, texted Jonathan Majors. Not trying to implicate anybody into anything. I am just, in the words Make It Make Sense, connecting the dots. Like, comment, share, subscribe to make it make sense. What had once been manipulation, control, and intimidation now became something far more dangerous and sinister. Sharpe even figured out how to get into Doe's apartment complex without her permission. I'm sure he said, "I'm Shannon Sharpe," and because, you know, fans have a parasocial relationship with celebrities, like, "Oh, dude, you're Shannon Sharpe. Come on in, man. You good people, man. Hey, listen, can I get on Club Shay Shay though?" That's probably what happened. Kind of been on the apartment complex. You know, sometimes, you know, you can come in the main door, but then there's another door for you to get in. You have to have a key to get into the apartment complex. Other times there's a, you know, front desk. The front desk is usually like in New York, Miami, California, you know, high-rise apartments, but that's neither here nor there. But still, either way, the fact that he was able to get into the apartment complex without her permission, that's not looking good for you, Shannon. Sharpe made it clear that what Doe wanted was of no moment, that Sharpe would get what he wanted when he wanted. In October 2024, Shannon Sharpe violently, trigger warning everybody, sexually assaulted and anally raped plaintiff 2 different times in Las Vegas, Nevada, blatantly ignoring her request for him to stop. And he did again in January. Now, that was said in the article, the Deadline article. You've seen that in other articles, but we have more. Plaintiff left Nevada to temporary escape. Defendant Shannon Sharpe, and she now seeks justice through his action and other means. Plaintiff seeks compensatory and punitive damages in this matter in excess of $50 million. Parties: plaintiff Jane Doe is a individual residing in Clark County, Nevada. Defendant Shannon Sharpe is an individual residing in Clark County, Nevada. He may be served at his residence. Now, I am not doxing. Let's make that very, very clear. I am not doxing. These documents came from deadline.com. I am not doxing. Okay? This is in the court papers. I just want to make that very, very, very clear. And I'm sure he has moved by now. Okay? But just want to get that on the table. He may be served at his residence at 2760 Tioga Pines Circle, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89117. Hang on, let me see something. Okay. Okay, so this is the home here. Very nice home. Actually, you know what? Here's a YouTube video because It's been a minute since we did a virtual tour, house tour, and yes, I know Nikki News and Narcissism. I know it's been a lot going on, but I need to add that back into the rotation. With that being said, here's a YouTube video that hopefully will satisfy for now, but we'll get back to that because I've been meaning to do more. It's just Beyond the Gates content, Rolla, Never Ever Mets, Married to Medicine, the regular shows. Damn it, I'm trying to live. But I love all of you, so it's all good. And know where we will have our 3,000 subscriber party very soon. Yes. We've been about the assignment. So here is the home right here. So this is 2760 Tioga Pines, Las Vegas. Here we go.
This is 2760 Tioga Pines Circle. Over 10,000 square feet inside this beautiful home. 7 bedrooms, 10 bathrooms, and 5-car garage.
What?
This home has been thoughtfully reimagined and remodeled with some of the finest finishes available. Let's go take a look.
7 bedrooms, 10 bathrooms, and a 5-car garage. Let's keep going.
This is one of the most extravagant entryways you'll see, with dual staircases and a clear glass pivot front door.
The entryway leads to 2 offices, a beautiful home theater, and an RV garage. Welcome to your state-of-the-art home theater, equipped with this huge 120-inch screen for your viewing pleasure.
Now, pausing for a minute. That looks like more of a family room to me. Like, no shade. Like, a movie room is a movie room, but when I think of a movie room, I think of, couch seating. I'm not thinking this was going to be, Michael Jackson's Never Never Land. But still, like, okay.
This area has been transformed into a modern wellness spa with a fully equipped gym. Follow me this way.
Check that out.
We have a walk-in steam shower and an infrared sauna.
Wait, I know your ass is dual shower. Okay.
This is your resort-style backyard, including reimagined pool and spa. Oh, and by the way, check this out.
You also have your own private, brand new sport court and recreation area.
So was that a separate suite? I wonder. Wow. And wow. Child, that okay, Shannon. I'm not mad at it. And here are some more pics of the home. Shannon, okay, then you were living. These are more interior, more detailed pics of the home here. It's a nice home. I definitely will say that. Massage table, I think there. Yeah, the fact that it's for sale, he moved. But it was a nice home, Shannon. I have to give it to you. Wow. As soon as I saw the whites, I'm like, oh yeah, this definitely is a home Shannon we did. The dual showers there. Almost towards the bottom, y'all, of the house. Then we will get back to the documents here. Very nice. There is at night there. But yeah, very nice home, Shannon. So there it is there. All right, y'all, back to the court documents there. Where is the house? Very nice home. Whose house is this? That was Shannon Sharpe's home. So that address there is where he used to live. Obviously, it's up for sale now. Let me look at that YouTube video. That was Huntington and Ellis, a real estate agency. That video was uploaded about a year ago. And it looks like it is still up for sale. So that was a very nice home, Shannon. I have to say that was a very nice home. Okay. Or wherever he may be found. Jurisdiction and venue. Both defendant and plaintiff reside here. Okay. The relief requested is within the minimum jurisdictional limits of this court pursuant to Nevada law. Venue is proper in Clark County, Nevada. This is the county where the defendant resides, and the acts, events, and transactions and omissions that form the basis of this lawsuit occurred in whole or in part in Clark County, Nevada. Factual allegations relate to all claims. Excuse me. Defendant Shannon Sharpe is a former NFL superstar and a well-known sports media personality. After a 14-season career in the NFL, he's considered by some to be one of the greatest tight ends of all time. He is a three-time Super Bowl champion, and was recently inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So there he is there. Playing for the Broncos, then him accepting his gold jacket. It is a huge deal in Canton, Ohio. They have the enshrinement ceremony every August. I've never been. It would be awesome to go and see it, just to see it, but I've never been. Upon retirement, Sharpe transitioned into sports broadcasting, quickly achieving success in the industry. Sharpe spent several years at CBS Sports doing the NFL Today with the legendary James Brown. Not really good. Not that James Brown. That's it. Alone from night to night, you find me. Not that James. Before moving to Fox, where over a decade, he built a reputation for his strong opinions and hot takes in Undisputed with Skip Shannon. That was what I think that aired weekdays 8:30 a.m. If I'm not mistaken. In 2023, Sharpe joined ESPN, where he remains employed today. Well, as of right now, he's employed. In addition to working ESPN's First Take, Sharpe hosts his own widely followed podcast, interviewing high-profile athletes, entertainers, and public figures. Sharpe claims he made as much as $6 million from one episode of his podcast. I am sure that's the Cat Williams episode, because I think he said on Nightcap that the check that he made from Cat Williams was more than his entire NFL career. So, and is alleged to be signing a multi-million-dollar deal with the Volume Media Group. Sharpe's legacy extends beyond the field of media, and in one glaring area is not good. Sharpe has a documented history of abusing and mistreating women. As an example, he is currently a defendant in a lawsuit before the Supreme Court of New York, facing claims from a woman of intentional infliction of emotional distress, among other allegations. Many of the factual allegations in the New York case are eerily similar to his actions toward plaintiff here. According to the New York lawsuit, Sharpe forcefully subdued the plaintiff in the case. How did you subdue her? I don't even want to know. Forcing her on her knees and subjecting her to non-consensual fellatio. Despite her repeated protests, when she resisted, he persisted. He would not take no for an answer. According to the New York lawsuit, the plaintiff therein feared for her safety. Just as plaintiff fears for her safety now. The New York lawsuit further alleges that Sharpe escalated to non-consensual vaginal penetration, all while telling her that he would make it so that no other man would want her. Now, everything that I am reading is allegedly, in my opinion, for entertainment purposes only. This is the lawsuit. Now, if you're wondering, well, Bray, that sounds familiar, because at the top, he also said that to the young lady that is suing Shannon Sharpe for $50 million. These words were apparently not a one-time thing. Plaintiff here and two has heard Sharpe say those exact words to her. In September 2024, Sharpe live-streamed himself on accident having intercourse with a woman. Upon information and belief, he did so on purpose to seek media exposure and to attract social media views and attention. And when this went down, right, a lot of people were saying, why does Shan need to do this? Like, he's got Club Shay Shay, he's got Nightcap, he was on Fox Sports 1, he's a Pro Football Hall of Famer. Like, what? How bigger do you need to be? And I mean, to get more famous, I mean, that's not really the move. To live stream himself, he would have had to deliberately swipe right on Instagram to activate the live feed. Sharpe claims it was accidental, however, discreetly recording intercourse without his partner's knowledge is something he is known to do. He did so with the plaintiff herein. Plaintiff discovered that Sharpe had been secretly recording their sexual encounters without her consent. When she confronted him, he surmisingly dismissed her concerns, claiming the videos were for his own personal use. That too was a lie. Upon information and belief, Sharpe on multiple occasions shared the recordings with his friends and associates. Like Kanye West showed off his ex-wife Kim Kardashian in a very graphic adult fashion to Adidas executives. Oh Lord, at one point he even forced plaintiff to have intercourse with him while FaceTiming one of his childhood friends named Bucket. What the heck? Dude, no, why? No. You don't do that. No. I have friends, right? I talk to them when I talk to them, okay? And honestly, if one of my friends called me with that shit, I'm hanging the phone up in their fucking face. What the heck, dude? Shannon, are you a voyeur by chance? By the way, a voyeur is you enjoy the gratification of watching somebody getting it on. Are you a voyeur? And not to mention, dude, like, did your childhood friend, like, know about? Does your childhood friend know that this is something that you like to do? Okay, Y'all, I am reading it as you are hearing it, okay? Whenever plaintiff would get up the curse of Jet Sharpe's outrageous conduct, which wasn't often, he would aggressively and angrily put her back in her place. Oh, my Lord, okay. Sharpe isn't just a sports icon. He is something far worse. He is a flawed, narcissistic individual who has spent years using his fame, power, and influence to manipulate, control, subjugate, and violate women. With this suit, plaintiff intends to put an end to this egregious conduct. January 2023, the beginning of a consensual but a deeply manipulative relationship. Sharpe first met plaintiff at a Los Angeles gym in early 2023. Sharpe would deliberately watch Doe in a way to make sure that he knew he was watching her. One day, as plaintiff finished his set and turned around, she found Sharpe standing inches behind her. Sharpe told her he had noticed her at the gym and wondered why she had not introduced herself. This is the first time that they spoke. Plaintiff, at the time, who had just turned 20 years old, was caught off guard. She was face to face with a 54-year-old man she never met. Plaintiff did not know at the time who Shannon Sharpe was. She did not know what to say, rather, nor to feel about his advances. Do you not realize too that all they would have to do, right, is basically get the evidence from the security camera footage? Now, of course, the gym is not said here, but I'm sure that there are some mom and pop gyms. I'm sure there is Planet Fitness. There is LA Fitness as well. So, oh Lord Jesus, okay. Let's keep rolling. During their first conversation, Sharpe proposed a challenge competition to see who could lean out faster. The prize of the plaintiff won. He would buy her fake tits. Plaintiff was stunned. The implication that she needed or wanted such a thing was wildly inappropriate. Hearing it from a stranger more than 30 years her senior made it even more disturbing. Throughout their sequential encounters at the gym, Sharpe made sure plaintiff understood who he was, a celebrity and TV personality. Over the following weeks, Sharpe made himself unavoidable. He was at the gym when she was. He constantly called and texted demanding that she come to his Beverly Glen mansion. Plaintiff repeatedly declined and made up excuses to make her seem too busy to see him, but he would not stop. Sharpe would not be deterred. Eventually, plaintiff gave in, but before she could meet him outside of the gym, Sharpe made another demand. She had to sign a non-disclosure agreement and NDA. He refused to explain why and would not let her see a copy of the proposed agreement. He simply insisted she sign one. Plaintiff refused after multiple times. When he realized she would not cooperate, he finally dropped the issue. Okay, we are on page 7 of 14, everybody. We're almost done. Revealed from the start the violent, aggressive, and controlling nature of Shannon Sharpe. The first night, plaintiff went to Sharpe's house. The experience was unlike anything she had ever dealt with before. Disturbing, unsettling, and given his sequential conduct, very illuminating. When plaintiff arrived at his house, Sharpe opened the door to his Beverly Glen mansion without a word. No greeting, no acknowledgement, no small talk, without so much as looking at plaintiff. He simply turned away from her after opening the door and walked upstairs. Plaintiff hesitated, but she followed as she did not know what else to do or where else to go. Whew, okay. When they reached the bedroom, Sharpe pointed to the bed before disappearing into the bathroom and shutting the door behind him. He still had not said a word. Plaintiff sat on the bed waiting, unsure of what to expect or if she should leave. Roughly 5 minutes later, he emerged, but still he said nothing. Instead, turned off all the lights and laid down on his bed. Plaintiff, uncomfortable and unsure what to do, laid down as well. Roughly for 10 minutes, there was nothing. Okay. For roughly 10 minutes, there was nothing but silence, but then without warning, Sharpe placed his hands on plaintiff's neck from behind, pressing his erect cream stick. I'm cloaking it for YouTube purposes, everybody. Against her body, and his first words, and said, his first words of the night. I knew from the first time I saw you that I was going to hug you. Let's see here. Doe and Sharpe then engaged in fellatio. As they did so, Doe at some point realized Sharpe was using his phone. He was apparently recording her. Plaintiff could see that he was trying to be discreet, but it was obvious what he was doing. She said nothing, scared to confront him for what he might do or say. When it ended, he rolled over and went to sleep. At some point later in the night, Sharpe woke up, grabbed plaintiff by her portal, and began having intercourse with her. Okay. All right. So let's pause here for a minute. First of all, no, and no. Now, of course, if you are married, right, and y'all have that energy where, listen, if I'm on demon time and I'm under the covers, just go right back to sleep, right? Of course, that's my energy for whoever my BBW delicious, scrumptious wife will be. But in the same token of that, just because we're married doesn't mean that there is consent. And to lay there in the bed for 10 minutes and then automatically to our neck, right? And then to utilize his erect cream stick, pressing it against her body, saying, from the first time I saw you, I knew I was going to hug you. Dude, really? Okay. The next morning, Sharpe woke up. I think that's the correct, sentence structure there. But either way, Sharpe woke at roughly 4 a.m. to shoot a media set for sports television. That was probably first take. Let me see something. 4 a.m. Pacific to Eastern. So 7 a.m. I don't know what I don't know what Mia said he was doing, but I know that he's on first take from 10 a.m. to noon, so maybe he had to do a pre-production meeting, because that happens with most news and entertainment shows, right? He woke plaintiff as well and told her that she needed to leave, but he informed her that she had to be back by 9 p.m. exactly. The following night, plaintiff arrived at Sharpe's house approximately at 9:05 p.m., just 5 minutes past the time he demanded. The moment he opened up the door, plaintiff experienced his rage for the first time. Sharpe immediately launched into a verbal assault, screamed at the plaintiff, berating her for what felt like hours. He accused her of disrespecting him, wasting his time, and warned that she wanted to be with the Shannon Sharpe, that she would have to learn obedience. Let's finish this show, because I just can't. Plaintiff was terrified and feared for her physical safety. Still enraged, I just don't get, like, dude, if you're really that upset by 5 minutes, hang on one second. Because if I'm not mistaken, trying to see.
Hello, it's your favorite sports thunk here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join the fastest. Then 5 minutes after the Super Bowl, oh, I got you. I'm gonna watch the game from my hotel room. Say, oh yeah, Ash, Ocho gonna do this thing. Lo and behold, Ocho, tell the people why you were late tonight.
Listen, so check me out, right? Check me out, huh? People, listen to me real quick now. This wasn't my fault. Like, see,
whose fault was it you late? It's Ocho. Was Ocho late or was it the fault late?
All right, you know what? It was Ocho. It was Ocho that was late, right? But there's a reason. There's a reason behind that. But listen to me. Stay with me real quick now. So I went on a blind date tonight, right? I went to a restaurant very early on. The reservation was for 8 o'clock. The reservation was for 8 o'clock. You hear me? I went to a restaurant in Wynwood called Sparrow. It was called Sparrow. Very, very nice place. And they had live music. And I had no idea what the individual who I was going to dinner with, I had no idea what she would look like. So it was a blind date. Come to find out, I was hoping she'd look exactly like her pictures. You know how you see people on the internet, you see them on Instagram, and they use all kind of Facetune and all this other stuff. So you never know. So boom, I walk in, boom, she's already sitting down. I sit down. I order my food, they give me a latte, they got live music playing. We having a good time. We exchanging pleasantries, you know, great conversation. Yeah. I'm getting to know the individual and whatnot. So boom, the game start. So I told her, listen, miss, I got nightcap tonight, so I need to be able to watch the game, you know, the Thunder and the goddamn Wolves. I need to watch the game, but I can still talk to you as I'm watching the game. So I get up. I say, listen, I ate, we ordered our food. I ate my food. I go outside to go to my car. It's 10 o'clock. I only need 20 minutes to get home. So I'm gonna be here on time. I go outside, they done towed my truck.
Who is they?
Would you believe that? The Alpine Towing.
Oh, so who said, were you parked in a no parking zone?
Yeah, I was. Okay. They would listen, hold on, wait a minute. Let me tell you why now. At Sparrow, they had valet in the front. I pulled up the valet and asked valet how much was it for valet parking. He said $100. I'm like, oh, buddy, hell no. So I just went one block further and just pulled off to the side.
Let me ask you a question. How much did it cost? Think about it. The tow. How much did it cost to get your car back?
But I didn't even get my car back. That's the problem.
Guarantee.
Hang on, y'all. Get a moment, because y'all know YouTube can be YouTubing sometimes. Give it a moment, y'all. It is freezing up on me, but give me a moment. If StreamYard cuts out, I will be back. Okay. Wait, I think. Hang on. Come on, really, laptop? Is this what we're doing? Is this what we're doing? I don't know why it's freezing up with me, y'all. This is what I'm going to do. Give me one moment here. I am going to, if it will let me. This is now you want to work. Now you want to. You know what? I swear to. Okay. So that was the clip that I wanted to show y'all, but you know, it goes to the point of, you know, Shannon Sharpe gave Chad Ochocinco some love, grace, and space, but there was another time that Chad Ochocinco was late, and it was for Inside the NFL on the CW, right? I think it's Ryan Clark, Bill Belichick, one other person, I can't remember his name, and Chad Ochocinco. So, oh my God, this is pissing me off. Give me one moment, y'all. I'm gonna reset. and then I'll be straight back. Give me one moment. Hey everybody, I am back. Sorry about that. Let me take this back down. Sometimes StreamYard will freeze up like that, but I will always be straight. Sorry about that. So, like I said, I will play that clip again. Do not mind. I think we were on what page here? Let me see. I think we were on what page? Will let me know here in a minute. Yep, we were on page 8. Okay, we were on page 8. Let me go back to that clip.
Community on YouTube. Remember,
look at it is here.
Well, you parked in a no parking zone.
This is Google Pixel 9a with Gemini. It's free at Verizon, with plans starting at $30 a line. And this is Nicole asking.
Yeah, well, okay. They would listen. Hold on, wait a minute. Let me tell you why now.
So the context was Chad Ochocinco was on this date, this, that, and the third. And he was trying to watch the game, and everything went right. But you did not see Shannon Sharpe go off on him, right? Because Nightcap makes money. Right, so then there was this story right here, which I think we covered here in Retro Pro Live before, but it says Shannon Sharpe and Chad Johnson disagree over professionalism while live on Nightcap. So here is that there. Hang on. Do you see? Oh, I can't stick. Really, you can't just play from there. Okay, so here it is here.
Before we get started, Ocho, there's some things that I want to address. Last night we had a situation. Everything is like in my computer is a little different for me here in the studio, my studio compared to you at home. Everything is linked. The camera, the iPad, the computer, everything is linked. And what happened was that as I'm talking, somehow it clicked over to the video. So that's what I was hearing playing back in my ear. So it wasn't anything. It wasn't like a malfunction. Somehow the audio had clicked on the video that was playing. So I could hear that back in my ear. So that was nothing that people back at in the studio was doing. That was no fault of their own. That was just something that it just all of a sudden happened. And it just took us a minute to figure out. We troubleshoot after we got off the show and we got it figured out. That won't happen again. I can assure you of that. Other technical difficulties might arise, but that won't happen. And then, guys, look, there's been a lot said. Well, you trying to do the Ocho what Skip did to you, blah, blah, blah. No. What I am going to do is that I'm going to push, I'm going to pull, I'm going to drag Ocho to a level that he didn't think he could get to. See, I saw some of the comments. You too serious. It's just a little internet show. It's a YouTube show. For you, that's all you see it as. But that's not the vision that I shared with Ocho when we sat down. That's not the vision that Ocho say, we can do that? Yes. I say, you see what these other guys are getting. But I can't go when I sit down with these studios and they says, okay, Shannon, what can you do? What do you want to do? How are you gonna package this? What are you looking for? Because when you go to a studio, they want a time slot. They want like, okay, what time slot you want to be in? And can we account on you being in that slot? Yes, absolutely. And so I want Ocho to take it serious. I've conveyed this with Ocho. Ocho, I'm not breaking earth, interrupting your normally scheduled programming, because I just want Ocho to understand this is Ocho's show. This is my show. And I want him to take it as serious and simply like when he goes on First Take, be great on First Take. Inside the NFL, be great on those. But I want Ocho to understand we gonna only go as far as he and I can take this thing. And the heights that I dream, and I think what he's conveyed to me is that we're gonna have to do this together. But there has to be a level of professionalism. There has to be a courtesy of being on time. I respect his time, and I want him to respect, because there's a lot of people. We started out, it was just Ocho, myself, one person in the studio, and Ash. We got 11 people now. We got editors, we got graphics, we got extra producers, we got associate producers. And so I know y'all took it and tried to run. This is a conversation. Ocho and I have had conversation off cameras. Ocho has conveyed to me what he wants to accomplish with Nightcap, all the while expanding his brand and doing First Take. I wholeheartedly support that. And you know, when it came to me, Ocho is great. Inside the NFL, he's doing that. He's doing an unbelievable job. But I just know Ocho can, and I think for me, when I look at Ocho, I see a guy that wants to do it, but has never been in a situation where it had to be like, okay, Ocho, you can just do your thing. Ocho, you're so great. I'm gonna force Ocho to be great. He ain't got no choice. He ain't gonna have no choice but to be great. And when we rise with Nightcap, when y'all see, man, they did it. Man, said it. Ocho said they were gonna do it. That's what I expect from Ocho. And I just he was already gonna be cutting it close for time because the flight got delayed, mechanical issues. And so at that situation, you know what? I got a show tonight. This is not Friday. I don't have anything to do. I can take that route that I normally take, call somebody, have them pick me up. But you know what? I'm already cutting it close. Let me get a little more suitable situation to get to my workplace. So I know you guys tried to blow it up, try to make it something. I'm trying to big time Ocho. No, I just want Ocho to be great. And I think there's a level of professionalism and a kind of courtesy that comes along with being great, because there are two kind of pains that you get. You get the pain of discipline, or you get the pain of regret. And if things don't work out, I can live with that. But I will not be, man, if I had only worked harder. So that's where I'm at. Ocho, I want you to say your piece.
Man, I'm good. Man, we good. You know that. I don't pay them people no mind. You know, I'm gonna always be me. I'm gonna always be successful. I always have been. You know, you have your way of doing things. I have my way of doing things. You know, that's it. We gonna be successful no matter what. I always remain my authentic self. You know, I've been a little bit, but I ain't gonna been too much where I have to change who I am.
So there it is there. So we were on page 8 of the lawsuit. Let me get back to this here. So this is where we were, everybody. So I'll catch you up, or you know what? I'll just go from right here, okay? Because I don't know if you guys are still able to hear me. Because sometimes on StreamYard, when you're frozen, you can still hear that person. But I'll just read it again because we're almost done. Revealed from the start the violent, aggressive, and controlling nature of Shannon Sharpe. The first night plaintiff went to Sharpe's house, the experience was unlike anything she has dealt with before. Disturbing, unsettling, given his sequential conduct, very illuminating. When plaintiff arrived at his house, Sharpe opened the door to his Beverly Glen mansion without a word, no greeting, no acknowledgement, no small talk, without so much as looking at plaintiff. He simply turned away from her after opening the door and walked upstairs. Plaintiff hesitated but followed, as she did not know what else to do or where else to go. When they reached the bedroom, Sharpe pointed to the bed before disappearing into the bathroom, shutting the door behind him. He still had not said a word. Plaintiff sat on the bed, waiting, unsure of what to expect, or if she should leave. Roughly 5 minutes later, he finally emerged, but still said nothing. Instead, he turned off all the lights and lay down on his bed. Plaintiff, uncomfortable, unsure of what to do, lay down as well. For roughly 10 minutes, there was nothing but silence. Then, without warning, Sharpe placed his hands on plaintiff's neck from behind. So, imagine you and your partner laying down, and then he placed his hands on the plaintiff's neck from behind, like this, right? But it was probably more clasped like that, but from behind, okay? So, pressing his erect cream stick against her body, and said his first words of the night, "I knew from the first time I saw you that I was going to uck you." Doe and Sharpe then engaged in fellatio. As they did so, Doe at some point realized Sharpe was using his phone. He was apparently recording her. Plaintiff could see that he was trying to be discreet, but was obvious what he was doing. She said nothing, scared to confront him for what he might do or say. When it ended, he rolled over and went to sleep. At some point later during the night, Sharpe woke up, grabbed plaintiff by her portal, and began having intercourse with her. The next morning, Sharpe woke at roughly 4 a.m. to shoot a media segment for sports television. He woke plaintiff as well and told her that she needed to leave, but informed her that she had to be back by 9 p.m. exactly. Following night, plaintiff arrived at Sharpe's house at approximately 9:05 p.m., just 5 minutes past the time he demanded. The moment he opened the door, plaintiff experienced his rage for the first time. Sharpe immediately launched into a verbal assault. He screamed at plaintiff, berating her for what felt like hours. He accused her of disrespecting him, wasting his time, and warned that if she wanted to be with the Shannon Sharpe, she would have to learn obedience. Plaintiff was terrified and feared for her physical safety. Still enraged, Sharpe turned off the lights, grabbed her neck, just like the night before, began having relations with her. The cycle of control, fear, and submission became routine, yelling at her, controlling her, forcibly grabbing her by her neck when he got upset, saying he was going to ill her, as her dominance became the norm. So this is what I was trying to say before StreamYard was StreamYarding, right? For you to be upset over 5 minutes, right? First of all, things happen. Okay, I am sure you have not been on time for everything in life, Shannon Sharpe. I am sure of it. We all have not been on time for things. Tag, I'm it too. Okay? And like I said before, even though when I am married to my BBW, curvilicious, scrumdiddlyumptious wife, even though that is mine, she has autonomy. So even though I want to, be Bowser and eat her peach ass in the middle of the night, I got permission that I can give that energy. And if she, okay, if she wants to have okay, and she want to make it hot on the grill in the bedroom, then she got to have permission from me. That's not cool. That in the middle of the night, you just grabbed her portal and just had your way through her galaxy. That was not right. That was not cool. That was disrespectful as fuck. This is so disappointing. I wait on further details, but I will say the choices we make will come back to destroy us. Absolutely. And Yolanda, you know me from the Onyx collab. You know that I cover a little bit of everything. And fair is fair. You know, I talked about Kelly Price when she said that there was a judge on Sunday Best that fornicated with some boys and messed around with someone's spouse but never said the name. We covered Lizzo and her lawsuit. We covered Keke Palmer did a domestic violence town hall, Jonathan Majors, P. Diddy. Even the R. Kelly verdict. I think I was live on Clubhouse at the time. I don't know if I did. I don't think I did R. Kelly on YouTube, or my YouTube channel rather. You know, covered him, if I'm not mistaken. But either way, I would have. And Child probably did. We got over 600 episodes, so we've done, 6 seasons of this show already. But either way, I cover anything and everything that is happening in the culture. So like I said, more details will come, but this lawsuit came out, and I felt like, okay, we cover anything and everything, like I said before, and this matters. This is a story, so we're covering it. This is not to drag Shannon or anything like that, but this is what it is. Page 9, everybody. We're almost done. Over the next year and a half, plaintiff saw Sharpe at his house as often as 4 times a week. Sharpe continued to treat her like an object. He continued to control her, not just physically, but emotionally and psychologically. He demanded complete control over her time, and by expecting her to be at his house on his schedule at his command whenever he called. The verbal abuse never stopped. He would berate and degrade plaintiff just as he had from the beginning. One time specifically, he was yelling at her while there was a firearm visible in his room. Terrified for her safety, plaintiff tried sharing her location with friends from her iPhone, just in case. When Sharpe saw her doing this, the moment he realized what she was doing, he grabbed her by her neck and told her, "If you ever do that again, I will fucking ill you." Shannon? Now, obviously, I don't know if that text message went through. From what it seems like, it did not go through because of what you did. However, I am sure that this plaintiff has talked to friends and family. And if 2 or more agree, dude, there's already audio of you. When that young lady said that, you manipulated me, you said, if you use that word again, I'm going to choke the shit out of you the next time I see you. You said that on a phone. You said that on a recording call, bro. TMZ has the audio. I played it yesterday on this show. Let's keep going. Summer 2024, Sharpe's control turns abusive. The relationship becomes fearful and not consensual. Sharpe's aggression and rage continued to escalate to the point that plaintiff's friends began to fear for her safety. For example, when plaintiff was with her friends, they could hear Sharpe yelling at her over the phone and would ask her if she was safe and if they were okay. Like I said, I hadn't read the documents. I was just utilizing common sense. So now, do you not think her friends will be a part of, the prosecution's defense for witness testimony? Okay. In the summer of 2024, plaintiff and Sharpe each moved to Las Vegas for their own reasons. Okay, well, I understand why, plaintiff, did what they did. And I meant to say for the plaintiff prosecution. My bad, y'all. Like I said, I'm not a lawyer. Go to Pam Esquire. Okay, shout out to Pam Esquire, by the way, and the lead attorney. And all the legal minds on YouTube and social media making it do what it do for sure. But either way, her friends will be a part of her team's case. Okay. So I understand why the plaintiff moved, but why did you move to Las Vegas? I mean, to be honest with you, like you only moved out there because of Undisputed with Skip and Shan. That show's been over for what, a couple of years now. So you could move back to the East Coast, but then of course you like the Lakers and LeBron, so maybe you stayed because you came to love LA. But either way, like, why? Okay. Oh my lord. Each moved to Vegas for their own reasons. Sharpe liked to say that the plaintiff followed him to Vegas, but that too is a lie. Once in Vegas, Sharpe again insisted that the plaintiff signed a non-disclosure agreement. She refused, and again he persisted. But after enough resistance, he let go and continued seeing her multiple times a week. His behavior did not change. He remained erratic, controlling, and verbally abusive, all while telling the plaintiff that he was committed to a sexually exclusive relationship with her. Then in September of 2024, Sharpe humiliated plaintiff. He live streamed himself having intercourse with another woman on Instagram for over 1.1 million followers to see. First of all, I did not know Instagram went up to that many, live users, right? Because most of the time when I see Instagram live, if you're like me, you're grateful to get 1 to 5 people. Celebrities, they usually get about maybe 5,000 or 10,000. But 1.1 million people seeing that live, yeah. Lord. He later made just the incident on his club, on his podcast club, Shay and the show Nightcap. And Chad Single got to get back at him of like, now, didn't you tell me about being professional? This wasn't professional. And Chad Single had every damn right to poke at Shannon Sharpe. Because right is right, wrong is wrong. But for plaintiff, it was anything but funny. He had repeatedly assured her that they were in an exclusive relationship, a bit unhealthy and abusive. This was a lie that not only hurt her emotionally, it made her fear for her sexual health and the risk of sexually transmitted disease. At that point, plaintiff began to pull away from Sharpe. She stopped answering his phone calls and stopped telling him where she was when he would demand to know. We're on page 10. Plaintiff's feeble attempts at freedom and independence further upset Sharpe. He began flooding her with phone calls demanding to know where she was. He called relentlessly multiple times per hour. The harassment became so unbearable. Plaintiff frequently began leaving Nevada, determined to cut off communication, resisting his efforts to control her and attempt to reclaim some control of his life. It took courage for plaintiff to make this effort. She remained terrified, even though she was thousands of miles away. Sharpe would not accept independence or freedom for plaintiff. Rather, in October 2024, just after plaintiff returned from Europe, Sharpe's behavior became more angry, aggressive, and now violent. Lord Jesus. But why did she continue to go back time and time again? I think that is a very good question, Yolanda. I think that will definitely come up if this case goes to trial, because on yesterday's tour, I read some text messages of put a dog collar around me and choke me while we're getting it in, and that put a big black baby in me. I want you to lick my portal hole, and other graphic messages. So I do agree that is a very valid point. And I'm sure that Tony Busby and her team are thinking about that point right there that you so articulately made. Why does she continue to go back time and time again? As the saying goes, we will see what the end is going to be, but very, very well said. Yolanda Cameron here. I'm going to plug in charge for my laptop. All right, October 6th, 2024, Sharpe sexually assaults and rapes plaintiff and threatens, "I'm going to make it so no man will want you again." On October 6th, plaintiff was working out at a Nevada gym following her usual routine. After she worked out, she saw Sharpe aggressively approaching her. She could tell by his look and the way he moved quickly towards her that he was furious for having been ignored. As soon as he got close, he told her, "Sit the up down or I'm going to ill you." Charming. After you almost put yourself physically to the brink, now you are receiving a threat. Oh Lord, plaintiff refused. "I don't want to talk to you. You cheated on me." His response was dismissive and controlling as usual. "You don't have a choice." Sharpe demanded that they talk in private again. Plaintiff told him no. She made it clear she did not want to talk to him, be alone with him, or want him to come to her home. But Sharpe didn't care. He never took no for an answer. Sharpe forced plaintiff under threat to go to his car and go to his house. Once Sharpe was inside her apartment, plaintiff tried to keep the conversation in the living room, but Sharpe refused. He demanded they go to the bedroom. She said no. He didn't listen nor care. Once inside the bedroom, Sharpe grabbed her from behind and forcibly positioned her to perform fellatio. He held her in place and then forced her to begin performing. He became even angrier and said, "You disrespected me so much. I'm going to punish YouTube." These are the words from the lawsuit. Okay? Everything's alleged in my opinions for entertainment purposes only. Everything's alleged in my opinions for entertainment purposes only. Once again, everything's alleged in my opinions for entertainment purposes only. I'm going to punish this asshole. I'm going to make it so that no man will want you again. Plaintiff at this point was crying and sobbing, tears streamed down her face as Sharpe repositioned her, took her from behind, inserted his cream stick into her garbage, her garbage disposal. As he forcibly anally raped her, he said, "Turn around, look at me." Sharpe grabbed her head, forcing her to look at him as she sobbed. He said at that point, "Look at this." Shannon, you better hope to God. I mean, there's already audio, right, of you talking to this woman. But dude, if audio comes out of this in particular, you're done. I mean, you already are getting done socially, but this, there's no way that you go back to first take after this. And you thought what happened was Skip Bayless was something. Oh no. Because now what's going to end up happening is, because of this lawsuit, is going to allow people from Fox Sports 1, which is under their own lawsuit with Skip Bayless and Joy Taylor and Charlie Dixon. Now, those people who used to work at Fox Sports 1 will definitely have things to say. So you better hope that you didn't do nothing at Fox Sports 1, allegedly. Okay. Sharpe grabbed her head, forcing her to look at him as she sobbed. He said at that point, "Look at this." This pisses me off so fucking much. "Look at this. Look at my arm. I got chills. That's how good this is." Dude. I can't. Sharpe forced himself on the plaintiff and raped her, despite her sobbing in agony as it happened. He told her in the moment as she was crying that the experience was so good it was giving him chills. Sharpe's behavior demonstrates that he believed plaintiff to be his personal property, or a slave possessed and owned by him. He also believed that the laws didn't apply to him, that he could take what he wanted, no one could or would stop him. He was and is wrong. Almost done, y'all. January 2025, Sharpe sexually assaults and rapes plaintiff, ignoring her screams and refusing to wear a condom. On January 2nd, 2025, Sharpe told plaintiff that he wanted to see her. Sharpe persisted and reminded the plaintiff that he had combined he had a combined Christmas and birthday gift to give her, as he previously promised to give her a gift. She ultimately allowed him to come over to her apartment. She regrets that decision. Once inside her apartment, Sharpe began undressing. Plaintiff firmly stated multiple times that they would not have intercourse without protection, demanding that he wore a condom. She knew that in the past he refused. Why, Shannon? He refused to ever use condoms. He believed her demand would stop him from having intercourse with her. Although he refused to finish in a condom, he still insisted on intercourse. She tried to resist him. She screamed. She already had expressed concerns for her safety, knowing that he had been involved with other women, increasing the risk of transmitting a disease. The more she begged, Sharpe became more aggressive and made it clear that he would not wear a condom and he was going to have his way with her. Sharpe grabbed her, pulling her around and positioning her to perform oral fellatio, which lasted roughly 2 minutes. Then Sharpe repositioned her and roughly forced himself inside her. Plaintiff never stopped demanding and begging that he stop the wrong condom. Sharpe ignored her. Oh, Jesus. As soon as he penetrated her, Plaintiff screamed and sobbed. The cries for help did nothing to stop Sharpe. The assault lasted roughly 10 minutes, ending only when Sharpe released inside her. Plaintiff cried and begged repeatedly for him to stop. Plaintiff left Nevada after the assault. Plaintiff brings these causes of action in this honorable court to recover damages as outlined below. It is imperative that Shannon Sharpe and those like him are held accountable for their actions to prevent them from engaging in further sexual assault, sodomy, and harming future victims. First claim for relief: assault, sexual assault, battery, and sexual battery. Plaintiff hereby incorporates each of the foregoing paragraphs as if fully set forth herein. As alleged herein, defendant Sharpe willfully and unlawfully used threats and physical force on plaintiff. In using willful or unlawful force on plaintiff, defendant Sharpe intended to cause a harmful or offensive contact. The threats were intended to control plaintiff. The harmful offensive contact intended by defendant Sharpe in fact occurred. The threats, as well as the harmful offensive contact by defendant Sharpe, caused plaintiff to suffer harm. Sharpe's conduct approximately caused injury to plaintiff. Plaintiff has sustained and will sustain pain and suffering, psychological and emotional distress, mental anguish, embarrassment, and humiliation. Accordingly, plaintiff is entitled to recovery against defendant for the damages approximately caused by defendant's conduct and an amount to be determined at a trial. Second claim for relief: intentional infliction of emotional distress. Plaintiff realleges each aforementioned allegation as if fully incorporated below. Sharpe engaged in conduct that is extreme and outrageous, so as to exceed the bounds of decency. In a civilized society. Namely, he caused plaintiff to experience mental suffering by causing her to worry about her safety and well-being. Time and time again, he reinforced that fear with verbal threats. Sharpe engaged in this conduct intentionally, knowingly, and willfully. Sharpe's conduct approximately caused injury to plaintiff. Plaintiff has sustained and will sustain pain and suffering, psychological, emotional distress, mental anguish, embarrassment, humiliation. Accordingly, plaintiff is entitled to recovery against defendant for damages approximately caused by defendant's conduct and an amount to be determined at trial. Thus, in addition to actual damages, plaintiff seeks punitive damages such damages are not subject to capping. Demand for jury trial. Plaintiff herein demands a jury trial and tenders all appropriate fees with this complaint. Prayer for relief, wherefore the plaintiff reserves the right to amend the complaint prior to or during the trial of this matter. Praise judgment against defendant as follows. General damages in the sum of excess of $10 million. Special damages in the sum of excess of $10 million. Punitive damages in a sum in excess of $20 million. Statutory penalties in a sum in excess of $10 million. Declaration of rights as set forth, attorneys' fees and cost of litigation, interest at the statutory rate, such other and further relief the court deems reasonable under the premises. And then here are the signatures. Sheffield Smith, Denley, Element LLP. Y'all, I'm gonna turn off my camera now because we've done the whole show for over an hour. Yes, we have. What the actual fuck? Y'all, I just couldn't. Yeah, just so unnecessary. So this was new audio, right? That came out today from the Shade Room. So I will play that for you now.
Well, what, Gabby?
Well, you're coming to LA tomorrow?
Yes.
Well, I don't know why you want to go out.
Don't worry about it, Gabby.
Well, okay.
Okay, what?
Well, I'm not really interested in getting choked, so I guess we're going.
Yeah, I might choke you in public. Big black guy chokes small white woman.
It's not a good look, Shannon.
Not a good look that you did what you did to me.
Okay, well...
Well, what? Well, what, Gabby?
Well, you're coming to LA tomorrow?
Yes.
Well, I don't know why you want to go out.
Don't worry about it, Gabby.
Well, okay.
Okay, what?
Well, I'm not really interested in getting choked, so I guess we're going.
Yeah, I might choke you in public.
I don't know. Anything I say, you're just gonna like get mad at, and you're just gonna hang up on me. So I feel like
I'm not gonna hang up on you. Here's what it is.
what? What does that even mean?
Nothing, Gabby. You want to be a bitch to me now, so.
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm going to choke the shit out of you when I see you. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Anything I say, you're just gonna like get mad at, and you're just gonna hang up on me. So
that was audio of Shannon Sharpe saying that he would choke the woman in public. Heard that correctly. I had to play it 2 times just to make sure that I heard it. Tony Baker said, and people be annoyed with me because I don't talk on the phone. He ain't got a lick of discernment. Sound like she was plying. He literally said the thing that we all thinking. Shannon, sir, you know better. This lady been plied since day one. She chose to engage in conversation with you, start recording, and you literally fell in the trap. I'm making salmon for dinner. Y'all want some? Set his ass right on up, and he took the bait. LOL, should have stuck with his Michelle. I mean, the embarrassment he's facing is deserving. Honestly, I keep telling these young ladies, keep exposing, because carry yourself like a decent man, human, woman behind closed doors too. And the upbringings could not be more different. Obviously, would never be a good idea. His name is way too big not to be more cautious about it. And so then Stephanie George accuses Shannon Sharpe of protection amid lawsuit for 20-year-old woman who was dating someone younger. So Shannon Sharpe brought me up while interviewing my son's father. I always hate when they do that. Right there. Shannon Sharpe brought me up while interviewing my son's father. I asked him about our 23-year age gap. Labeled the interview. Donnell Rollins had a baby with woman from Bad Girls Club 23 difference. He went and dug that up for information. As we have broken up for over 6 years now, see why he was so curious about it. He was dating someone even younger. I'm 34 years old.
Mom, why you go for the Donnell?
I didn't date her mom because why didn't I date her mom?
Yeah, good question.
No, wait.
I'm asking the question.
No, because
that ain't the Donnell Rollins show.
Love is love.
If you don't,
love is love.
I agree with you.
What?
You like them young, though.
Say Drake, I heard you. Nope. Don't do that. I don't like them young. I like what I love. I didn't groom nobody, son. It is what it is. But I can't take nobody my age and get what I wanted. What I look like getting a 48-year-old bitch pregnant.
It's possible.
It could have happened, but I ain't want them odds.
Hold on, she was on Bad Girls Club?
Yes.
You like Bad Girls?
I made her a good girl. Nigga, say that. Ask me another.
20.
Wow. You ask me another question.
You like toxic.
I was going through a transition in my life, and if somebody made me feel good about myself, that I knew in the future I was gonna have a beautiful son, that you was gonna try to ruin the relationship I had with him by talking about did he see you between Diddy legs. I saw the future of this show before we even goddamn did it. All right? And I didn't break no laws. I didn't know. Yes, she's a lot younger than me. But that's what it was. I gave my opportunity. I gave myself an opportunity. Why you hating on me?
Where y'all meet at? Forever 21?
Yo, y'all ain't gotta laugh that hard, son. You know what?
I'm just trying to figure out that. I mean, where you meet a 23-year-old at? Because I mean, hey, 23, I think I'm a couple of years older than you. I go 33. So I just need to know. 23, 33, they probably in the same area. Maybe we can hang out.
I'm not. Ask me another question. I'm not with you. I am not hanging without you. I'm not hanging with you. Okay. What I want to say, there was a part of my life where someone gave me a certain energy that I needed. And they expressed to me, I wasn't out there on no playgrounds.
Yeah.
I didn't have R. Kelly in the background. And they expressed to me that and this is how they get you. I like older men. Bing, 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 bing,
right.
bing.
You like younger women.
Can I finish my
Go ahead.
sentence? You can switch and do interview yourself. If you want to do that, give them another mic.
Nope.
No, it was just, it was something that happened in my life. It was timing.
Mm-hmm.
It was me coming off of another relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And I just felt this person made me feel good.
Mm-hmm.
And that turned into a relationship where I had a beautiful son. I'm not with you.
Well, y'all, my final thoughts on this as we get to the Daily Motivator and head on out. This child, I just can't. I can't. I'm gonna come on camera and give my final thoughts. First of all, everything in that lawsuit was very detailed. And it seemed like everything in that lawsuit happened. Now, of course, we have to let the facts showcase themselves, and we have to let the trial happen and let the chips fall where they may. But Shannon, dude, you said that you would choke the woman in public. And you also said that if you do that again, I'm going to choke the shit out of you. Bruh. I don't know how you come back from this. I don't. So that's my take on that. Let's get to Daily Mulberry, y'all, because I'm so done. Not the fruit of experience, but experience itself is the end. Walter Patter. Absolutely. It's time for the Daily Mulberry for Wednesday, April 23rd, 2025. Morning comes. After the darkest part of night has passed, morning comes. What troubles you so much now will be better in time. Not at all, but much of that improvement will be due to the good actions you take. Though it's understandable to become lost in despair, it's more fruitful to immerse yourself in positive purpose and effective effort. Take good and diligent care of what you're able to tend to. Receive with confidence that morning will come, that with work and with time the situation can improve. Know that there are people who care. With each positive action on your part, those people are more likely to find you and join the effort. Every new movement brings new possibilities. Keep those possibilities coming. Open yourself to them. Give your energy and attention to them. Be insistent with yourself about traversing the path forward step by step, and eagerly welcome the progress you are sure to make. Ralph Nelson. You know, in order for a morning to come, right, you have to get through what you're going through. But just because that morning comes doesn't mean you are not responsible for what you did the day before. You know, Ryan Lochte famously said, I'm a man at night, I'm a man in the morning, which basically means whatever I did that now, I also have to be a man in the morning of what I did. So that's the first thing. Second thing I'll tell you is, know that there are people who care. With each positive action on your part, those people are more likely to find you and join in your effort. They always say, if you want me to root for you, you give me something good to root for. Nobody is rooting for this at all. And of course, there are going to be people with the Red Pill podcast, the Alpha, male podcast, and some of the women as well that's going to be saying, why did Shannon go after somebody younger? Why did she keep going, like Yolanda Cameron said? But Yolanda Cameron asked that question from a very astute, articulate, and well thought out point of view. And what's going to end up happening is the morning is going to come, and everything that everyone said, it may not show in the brightest light when the sun is able to shine on what everyone has to say. And then finally, evenly walk the progress you are sure to make. Progress always equals positivity. And stagnation and uneasiness equals negativity. So in order for progress to happen, you have to make progress. And if anything is plugged up, and it is a destruction of a making that is bigger than what you thought, maybe it's because you caused the destruction. With that being said, everybody, it's time for the best outro on YouTube. Know what you do and do what you know. Never say one plus, especially because you were always born a blessing. Trust you may not be where you want to be, but by the end of it, you'll be where you need to be. Do what you've been chosen to do. Why is one thing to call yourself is nothing to be chosen. One love, much love, all love. I spend time with you. You spend time with me. And hopefully, by spending time together, our lives will be great together. And always remember where you do radio, television, YouTube, living your best life, or just breaking down a lawsuit over another woman's pain, over another woman trying to mentally make it and not knowing if the world gives really a care about women, men, children, or if the world even cares about itself. Make sure the replay is not just where you're watching, not just this too, but for you on Conspiracy. Again, I love you, I value, I embrace you all. Always remember, see love, you gotta give it, see love, you gotta give it, see love, you gotta give it. Where obstacles you'll overcome, where success you have achieved upon this particular day. I'm extremely proud of you, but no one's proud of you. Be proud of your damn self. Finally, y'all, if you don't have a line, people will cross it. Don't apologize for your standards, requirements, and the lines you draw, because it is better to be hidden in your garden where you can maintain that everything is growing, rather than the sun being on everything and everything getting watered and some plants die because they weren't taken care of properly. Commercial break and fireworks coming your way for the day that was, for the day that's come, for the blessings that are on the way for you, me, all of us, as a society, as a people, as a culture. I feel the love. Now send it right back to you. Good night, everybody. Love you all. Bye-bye.
I thought I should tell you, they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner.
Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, an isle of fire-breathing excitement, a shadowy world of monsters and mystery, new wonders in the wizarding world, and a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.